Fox News had an interesting take on a proposal that Democrats have been passing around to forgive $50,000 in student debt. Now, I already know right-wingers. What about those who paid it off? That's all you hear from right-wingers. Because right-wingers, all they do is cry, because they're victims. But anyway, fake victims. But okay, need a safe space, freaking snowflakes. So, here we go. Let's take a look at this first clip from Greg Abbott. And he's going to be talking about why we shouldn't be forgiving student debt. And I'm going to take down his clip one by one because honestly, it's so easy for me to do. So, all right, here we go. Let's go ahead and hear this.
I want to float an idea.
Okay.
What about community college? What if you made community college free, a 2-year community college? Is that a reasonable option?
Yeah, how do you pay? I guess you wouldn't have to pay those teachers, right? Because they would work for free, and the people that maintain the college, they would work for free. Everybody works for free in the world of the left. This is the question that no one asks. How do you do this? When you forgive debt, how do you do this? The Dems never asked that question. Does a debt hop on the back of a unicorn and fly away? No, somebody has to foot the bill. Now, is it going to be the banks? Right. I don't think they're going to foot the bill. Is it going to be the colleges? I'd love to see that. You know who's going to foot the bill? You are. And you're going to be ticked off because you paid your loan already, and you secretly know that the person that's getting their debt forgiven is just as well off as you are, because you know a lot of them are going to be white, middle-class liberals who have wealthy parents who could easily pay it off. Why not? If you want to pay off somebody's debt, here is my suggestion. If the average college loan payment is $393, the average monthly payment for a used car is $381. Why not cancel the debt of all the used cars? Because that used car the owner will use that far more than many of these people are using their college degrees. A pickup truck in Idaho is way more valuable than a fine arts degree in Brooklyn. And it's way more democratic to forgive auto loans for people using their cars than for the idiots that chose degrees that do nothing for them. People should not be paying for other people's mistakes.
All right, let's take his ass down, his smug elitist ass. First off, I love how it's like, how are we going to do this? How are we doing this? How do you do it? Well, there's a legal way. You fuckface, you asswipe, you dumbass. It's called Joe Biden can do it through executive order, and the Higher Education Act of 1965 lets him do it, you asswipe. That's number one. And number two, why aren't you asking, oh my God, Donald Trump gave $2 trillion to the rich. How do you do this? How do you pay for it? You know who's footing the bill? No, you never asked that because your smug elitist ass got money off of it. That's why you didn't ask. What about Iraq? When we invaded Iraq as a country, right? Not the viewers, not me, as a country. When Bush was going into Iraq, why didn't you ask, how are we going to do this? How are we paying for this? Nope, you lied about weapons of mass destruction. Nope. You promoted the war. You prodded him on and prodded the lies on. And you got 1 million citizens killed at the max official numbers that are released. And I love when we have a bailout for Wall Street. Greg Abbott is not going, how do we do this? Who's fitting the bill? Right? They never asked that because Wall Street funds Fox News and Rupert Murdoch and all of those people, and Greg Abbott gets his salary from there. Right? Because it's a good, So, of course, he's not going to ask about Wall Street. How are we going to fund Wall Street? Because it's a good question by Juan Williams. Okay, right. You don't want student debt to be forgiven. You don't want free college. So you don't want that. How about free community college? That means everything's going to be free, huh? The people that maintain the college, they're going to work for free. Teachers are going to work for free. You fucking dumbass. That's not how it works. Because we fund K through 12 here. Oh, so that means that the teachers that I know, that maybe 7 teachers I have on Facebook, those teachers who work for K through 12, they're getting paid they're getting nothing. they have to go work at another job because their high schools aren't paying them, the school district isn't paying them, they're underpaying them. But apparently that's how it works. That's not how it works. It's publicly funded. You asswipe, it's publicly funded. You guys, a lot of you who watch the channel, and thank you for that. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Anyway, a lot of you that watch the channel, you know that. You've heard me say it. The facts are clear. It's publicly funded through taxpayer dollars. Raising my taxes, how dare you, you fucking liberal! I'm sorry, but your fire department, I pay for that. I don't know if you know, but I also pay for the police through my taxes. You pay for the hospitals that are built. You pay for that. The military industrial complex and Fox News advocating for more war in Venezuela, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, Djibouti, Syria, Libya, Egypt, everywhere else. We pay for that. We pay for that. And I love how he's like, oh, you're going to be ticked off because, oh my God, you had to pay your student debt off. So that's like what he's saying there is, like, I always make this point. I got this from Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk. If you look at their argument, what they're basically saying is, oh my God, we found a cure for coronavirus. And anybody who has coronavirus, we can cure you. Are you sick? I am so pissed off because, like, if you have a dead person come, like, as a ghost, being like, I am so pissed off that they found a cure for COVID when I died from it. We found a cure for brain tumors. Mesothelioma. We found a cure for Hodgkin's lymphoma. What? That's like them arguing that it's not fair to find a cure and get rid of Hodgkin's lymphoma, get rid of lung disease, get rid of heart disease, get rid of all of it, get rid of diabetes, and prevent it because some people already got it. So why are you going to do that? And by the way, so that's what they're saying there when they're saying, oh, you already paid it off. I paid for the war that you helped Bush and Trump start. We all paid for the tax cuts that the rich are getting, 83% of the wealth going to them in the next 10 years. I'm pissed off about that. Why didn't I get that money? And all he said, you notice how they're playing this culture war shit. Like, it's going to help white people. It's going to help white liberals, white people, rich people. Actually, the bottom 80% of debt holders, of loan borrowers, are low-income Americans. Low income. It's not that 75% are rich folks. Most rich folks just pay for the school out of pocket. And a lot of times, they don't go to public universities. They go to private schools. Okay? So, don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit. And I love how he's like, oh, okay, you want to forgive student debt? Fine, let's do it. How about we forgive auto loans too? Go, do it. I guarantee you, if you put a poll out right now, Fox News, and anybody, and you say to the American people, how about I pay off your auto loan? You'll have 100% of the American people going, fuck yeah! I don't want to pay my car. I don't want to pay $350 a month, $400, $500 a month, $600 if your car payment is that high. I don't want to pay for that. Go ahead, forgive my debt. The American people will go for that. I like how he's like all smug. Oh yeah, we'll forgive your car debt. Do it, bitch. And I love how he's like, I'm sorry, that car is more valuable than a liberal arts degree, a fine arts degree in Brooklyn. First off, if you're complaining about the degree that people are getting, how about you complain about the fact that most of the presidents who have been in office have never created a job for low-income Americans, but you get $20 million a year or more, so you don't give a flying F, do you? No. People are going to school. See, notice how they criticize you if you don't go to school. Oh, these are just welfare queens sitting on their asses at home. But when you go to college, these idiots getting degrees that aren't useful. How about we create jobs all across the fucking country, like the Green New Deal? How about we create more tech jobs? How about we put more vocational training and job training skills? Give people job skills through job training. Oh, no, you don't want to do that because it costs taxpayer money? Oh, wow. Shut the fuck up then. Stop complaining. Okay, so here's another guy, and he's going to talk about how it's completely unfair to do this. Watch this.
So, Jesse, picking up on that idea from Greg, would you say it's okay then to forgive loans for low-income students?
Maybe.
Juan, I'm paying for your mistakes every single day. So, I mean, forgive that loan. My goodness. I mean, Greg's right and Dagan's right, and so is Martha. The Democrats created this problem and then are swooping in with my money to solve it, and then they want an attaboy, and then they want to get reelected for it. They're the ones with the banks and the loan sharks that created the bubble. And they raised tuition, they raised fees, and they got to indoctrinate more students in their liberal universities. Then all of a sudden it blew up because people have thousands and thousands of dollars of debt. They can't buy a house. They're living with their parents, and they have a sociology degree that can't get them in the door anyway. So why should I have to pay for my neighbor's dumb daughter who went to, I don't know, grad school for anthropology, who just backed her car into my car and didn't leave a note? I'm not paying for that. I mean, we're probably going to bail them out. We bail out other countries, Detroit, Wall Street. Why not bail out these people? The only thing, Juan, that's going to stop this, it's a collision course between the socialists and the Wall Street Democrats. Who has the power in Joe Biden's White House? Is it Yellen and the Wall Street Democrats, or is it the crazy socialists like Bernie, AOC, and Chuck Schumer?
Which side are you on, asswipe? Which side are you on, Jesse Waters? And by the way, let me before I go on and take this guy down and pretty much destroy him, the first guy was Greg Gutfeld. I don't know why I said Greg Abbott. It's wrong. I'm sorry. It's Greg Gutfeld. So, all right. I love what you guys didn't see. There was Juan Williams asked him, all right, so you don't want to help the rich. I got it. How about helping low income people? Let me tell you what I think about. He just skips over that because, like, it's so funny. Okay, they're like, I don't want to help the rich. So Juan Williams is like, how about the poor? No. And what's funny is, like, because he's like, I don't want to help the poor. Right? I don't want to do it. So he's like, it's like the conservatives, when Democrats are in power, are all about, oh my God, the working class. Oh God, dude, like totally the working class, dude. Is it going to help the working class? And then you bring up a proposal to help the working class, and they're like, no. You just said you were for the working class. You just said it. It's like, they're such hypocrites. They're such hypocrites. And by the way, what I didn't mention, if in the last part is like, if Greg Gutfeld got a poll that said, had a poll, and the poll said, hey, yeah, 70%, let's just 68, 70% of the American people, 60, 70, they want their auto loans forgiven. Oh, no. What are these people thinking? See, he'll automatically flip based on the answer. If he says no, he'll be like, oh. If it says no, he'll be like, oh, see, they don't want their loans forgiven, so why are we going to forgive student debt? And if you say yes, because who the frick wouldn't pretty much say, yeah, forgive my damn auto loans. I don't want them. It's stupid, right? Because it is. Then it's like, no. So, they're already like, oh no, right? So they're going back on their own points. They're backpedaling, and he just skips the whole question, Jesse Waters, and he's like, well, see, I don't want to help my neighbor's dumb daughter who got a graduate degree, a master's in anthropology, and backed her car into mine. Accidents happen, you asswipe. I don't even know why I'm going over this argument. Like, accidents happen. And I don't know if you realize, anthropology, people actually get jobs. They get professorial jobs. They get college jobs. They get all kinds of jobs. Anthropology is a real fucking job. Just because they don't make $30 million a year like you, just to babble on like a goddamn idiot, basically do what I do but for nothing, it doesn't mean that it's not useful. And by the way, I love his point of, oh, they just want to forgive student debt and then get an attaboy and get reelected. I don't give a fuck why the Democrats would do it. I really don't give two shits. If the Democrats came to me and said, Jason, I want to forgive 100% of your debt and you vote for me, I'd fucking vote for them. Why? Because I don't have to worry about when I get out of school having to pay off my debt, like my student debt, and like, which shouldn't exist in the first place because I committed the unfortunate crime of getting an education because you guys talked crap about us not getting an education. And I love how he's like, oh, the Democrats caused this disaster, and now they want to swoop in and spend my money. Oh, but you don't mind your money going, the money you don't offshore to your tax havens in Switzerland, the Cayman Islands, Mexico, and everywhere else, China, India. You don't mind spending our money or your money on the military-industrial complex, going into endless wars or giving endless bailouts to Wall Street. No, you don't care about that, Jesse Waters. So which side are you on? You're on the side of the wealthy elite, and you're on the side of the corporate Democrats who don't want to do jack for us. And since you don't want to do jack, step the fuck away. Step the hell away, get the hell out, and let us do our thing. So, he's like, oh, you're going to use my money. And the banks, they colluded, and they raised tuition. Okay, well, we can get rid of tuition. We can lower tuition. Oh, no, because then the banks will be offended. Oh, okay. Or how about we just do free college? No. So that point is just moot. It's mute because he actually doesn't care. And the whole thing about, oh, it's gonna help wealthy white people. All right, so that's not true, as I said, and I told you it was 80%. By the way, if it did, who cares? Because I stick to the principle of it. You don't just go, well, see, we have fire departments and I don't want it to help rich people. We all pay into the same fire departments. Granted, they help the rich more. But anyway, either way, we help them just because it's the moral thing to do. It's principle. That's what you got to focus on. Okay, we forgive student debt for the rich. Okay. And it's like, who cares? Student debt shouldn't exist in the first freaking place. It should not exist. We should not have student debt because someone decided, I want to go to college and get a good job because most jobs are requiring it to help me and my family and establish a life for myself. We shouldn't have student debt. We should be able to stimulate the economy and add to the GDP and add to the per capita of growth by spending money that we shouldn't have to be paying into big fathead bankers just because they want to frickin' destroy us and then garnish our wages just because we owe them for doing the right thing of going to school. If you're mad because we want to forgive student debt for everybody, well, he just asked you, do you want to get rid of debt for low-income people? No. Okay, but then you're complaining about helping the rich. I don't care. It's the principle. Okay, most people who are going to be helped are the low-income people. Okay, so there you go. Number two, if it helps the rich, it helps the rich. I don't give a damn. I really don't. If it helped the rich and like nobody had student debt, who gives a flying F? Who gives a shit? It's like medical debt. We have a death panel health insurance system where 500,000 people go bankrupt every year because of medical debt. Because they don't have health care or their health care doesn't cover them much. And so if we got rid of that, maybe we could have more people buying a house, buying a car, starting a business, maybe going to school. Oh no. So terrible points made here. They're super smug, they're super elitist, and honestly, it hurts to see a lot of people fall down this rabbit hole. And the people are like, oh, it's just like, it's they're funding with my money. Let me just say one last thing. If Joe Biden tomorrow were to say, hey, we're going to get rid of all student debt, like that, swoop of a pen, like the swipe of a pen, Joe Biden, if he's not so demented to do it, guess what? You're actually not spending money. You're just telling people who have student debt, you don't have to pay it anymore. You're actually not using any tax dollars to do that. Now, if we're talking free college, sure. So, Fox News being a smug and elitist, and if your friends and family are making these points, use these points, making their points, use these points, because they're all dumb in their own right if they're not using their brains and doing any research on the issue.